Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So I first want to just say thank you so much everyone for the birthday wishes. Yes, I am 36 years young and I really appreciate all of the messages on Facebook. Thank you. You really gave me a great birthday, and so thank you again. And I guess today, what I want to do is actually discuss a question that someone had left from last week's episode, which was about tips for weight loss. And someone had left a comment about how they had lost a certain amount of weight, but now they're at a plateau, and they're very frustrated. So I want to give some tips about how to get through a plateau and continue with your weight loss, things like that. So the first thing though that I do want to point out is you need to congratulate yourself. A lot of times people forget that they got to the plateau because they actually lost a lot of weight. And it's important to acknowledge that and really to honor that and to appreciate it, because if you just get stressed out about the numbers all the time and you forget about, just the journey that you took to get there and how you're victorious, it just creates more stress. So the first thing to do is really to acknowledge, wow, I've lost the weight. I lost 10 pounds, I lost 20 pounds, 30, 50, whatever it is. And to remind yourself every single day that even though you might have hit a plateau, you've come so far. So it's super important. And also too is that a lot of times people get nervous thinking they're at a plateau, but really their body's just adjusting. Especially if someone's lost a lot of weight, there's a point where it kind of just stops and the body has to readjust, and then the weight starts coming off again. So if it's been, I'd say, longer than a month that someone's been at the same weight, then they've hit a plateau. But the good thing is that they haven't been gaining weight, okay? They've been remaining at a lower weight and sticking there, which is good, which is great. And so now it's just a matter of sort of tweaking things and altering things in order to get your metabolism going again and losing more weight. So the first thing that I suggest is to make sure you're exercising. A lot of people go about losing weight by just going on a diet and they don't move so much. And in order really to get your metabolism going and also to start building good muscle and reducing the body fat, you have to exercise. And it's important to exercise frequently. So if someone's exercising maybe 3 times a week and they're like, you know what, I've hit a plateau, nothing's going, then increase it to 5 days a week, even 6 days a week. Every single day you should be active. Okay, and it doesn't mean that you need to be running an hour a day every day for 7 days a week, no. But it means that 5 days a week you should be doing exercise, and then maybe 2 days a week you do sort of lighter exercise, which means walking or stretching, light yoga, things like that. But every day you gotta be moving your body for at least an hour a day. Too many people are sitting behind a computer all day long at work and then getting into a car that they're barely moving their bodies. And it's not like how it used to be when so many people were doing laborious jobs where all day they're moving around. And nowadays everyone's so out of shape that they really need as much exercise and movement as possible. So, and also to change things up, because a lot of times too is that someone hits a weight loss plateau and they have been exercising, but they've been doing the same exercise the entire time. Some people sort of fall into running, other people really get into weightlifting, and it's important to have variety in your exercise. So if you're really into cardio, start doing some weights. If you're really into the weights, start doing some cardio. Mix things up, try new things, just so that you're exercising every single body part and that your body gets sort of shooken up a little bit, because over time, if you're doing the same thing all the time, the body adjusts to it. Okay, so the second tip I have is about keeping a food journal. A lot of times people don't realize just how much they're eating, and people say, oh, I've been sticking on my diet, I've been really good, but here and there they're having little nibbles, right? They're cooking dinner for their family, so they're having a little taste or two as they're cooking, and that taste or two can turn into quite a few tastes. Can turn into half a cup of some sort of food that they didn't even know that they were eating. And so I really suggest keeping a food journal so that you really do keep track of the food you're eating and also the drinks you're drinking. Okay, like a lot of times you get a lot of hidden calories in those drinks. People don't realize just how much is in soft drinks, things like that. So it's important to keep a food journal for a while, and that's also just a way of figuring out, okay, well, what is it that might be holding you back from losing more weight? And what I suggest on top of that is actually to track your calories for a while. Doesn't mean you have to go crazy with calorie counting for the rest of your life, but maybe for 2 weeks, just get online and find there's free calorie counters like FitDay or Calorie King, and you can use the database to figure out exactly how much calories are in those meals, how many calories are in those drinks. And I know for a lot of my clients that started doing that, they were like amazed to see that, oh my goodness, like I didn't realize how much calories were in that coffee drink, or how many calories were in the salad dressing, or all these things. So it's a matter of actually being aware of how much you're consuming. And on average, most women, if they want to lose weight, they should be consuming between, I'd say, 1,200 and 1,600 calories a day. That's average. Okay, if someone's exercising, then a lot, then they need more. And this is for someone that's trying to lose weight. If someone's not, then they need more calories. Okay, so it's watching what you're eating and also portions. And there's certain foods that people need to be aware of that are kind of like dense calorie foods, right? These foods, you eat a small amount and there's a lot of calories in them. And a lot of times we can be unaware of how much we're actually eating. So things like cheese, things like nuts and seeds, things like salad dressings, oils, that kind of stuff. Like a little goes a long way. And a lot of times someone can say, oh, I've been eating salads like every meal and I've been eating so healthy, why am I not losing weight? Well, you have to check how much oil you're putting in that salad dressing, because sometimes people put up to like a fourth a cup of oil in just one salad. And really you want to cut down on the oils, you want to cut down on nut butters, on nuts and seeds, cheese, things like that, because a little does go a long way. And it's one of those things that's usually a lot of times the culprit of being on a plateau or even gaining weight. Okay? And then I guess the last thing that I want to suggest with sort of breaking a plateau is decreasing your portions at night and eating earlier. A lot of times people tend to not eat so much during the day, they skip breakfast, and then suddenly they have a huge dinner. Or even they just have one meal a day and that is dinner. And it's dinner time for most people, it's the end of the day. After dinner they relax, they watch TV, they hang out with their family, their kids, or they just chill out, talk on the phone, go on the computer, and then they go to bed, right? And so it's not the time of day where you really need to be refueling yourself with huge meals. It's really the time of day that you do feed yourself, because your body does need the energy and does need the nutrition, but you don't need to be eating the biggest meal. The biggest meals of the day should really be breakfast and lunch, and dinner should be lighter, and it should be as early as possible with no snacking at night. A lot of people notice, like, easiest way to start losing weight again is just stop eating like before 7 o'clock, at least 3 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. That's your last meal. And for a lot of people, then the weight just naturally starts dropping off, because they're not going to sleep with like a full stomach and their body just storing that energy as fat, but instead they're going to sleep with an empty stomach, and then they have a better sleep, which is also better for weight loss, and a deeper, more higher quality sleep, because they're not digesting while they're sleeping. They're able to really rejuvenate and regenerate. So super important. So these are my tips for today. And I also just want to mention too that we're starting the next 7-day raw food challenge. If anyone wants to do a raw food cleanse, we're doing it for a week, and it starts this coming Monday, January 23rd. And you can go to my website at radiantcentral.com, click on products, and you'll see 7-day raw food challenge, and you get recipes, menu planner, There's an online forum, there's daily videos for the challenge, all sorts of great stuff, great support, and a lot of fun. So I hope you join us for that, and have a fabulous day. Bye!